In this clip, we'll see how we actually build a layout using Heidelberg's Prinect Station. Launch Station, and again, is identical on Mac or PC platforms. We'll go ahead and select our proper unit of measure and start a new job. When we start a new job, the Job Assistant opens and brings us through a series of steps in order to effectively create the layout for the job. Moving from one step to another, we'll tell the system what we want to about creating the job. This will be our 8-page job going on our Excel 75. What master page size and bleed? What type of binding method? This will be saddle stitched. Creeping can be turned on or off using automatic method via the paper thickness or a manual value itself. Creeping can be done by offsetting or scaling the pages. Any values that we can do to automatically place the artwork on the sheet we'll enter at this point in time. And any job-specific marks, such as folding crosses or folding lay marks, can be enabled. At this point, we'll bring in our plate template. Now, this is a resource that we build ahead of time, specific to the presses and devices within your shop. Now, this plate template holds 3 different media: the plate size, the paper size, and the subject area. Each 3 of these media can have marks associated with them. For instance, on the plate, I have a static mark that's always in the same spot for process control at the lower portion of the screen. On my paper, I have side guides. Those side guides are 2 1/4 inches from the gripper edge and float with the paper size as it changes. So they'll always straddle the edge of the paper no matter what width I type in, and always remain 2 1/4 from the lead edge. This provides efficiency in the fact that I don't need to worry about where marks are, and I can count on them being where they need to be precisely on each job. Now, the subject, the printed area, which is the pink area in the middle of the screen, is yet to be defined, but it also has marks associated with it, such as a color bar at the tail edge of the print and maybe an identification bar at the left side. These also float and fluctuate with the size of the artwork that's actually being printed. Now, the color bar has certain properties included with it that crop automatically to the trim edge of the artwork, and also because I have multiple color bars associated with this mark, the system will pick the most applicable color bar in relation to the PDF colors itself when dropped into the layout. This creates automation in the fact that I don't need to worry about what color bar to place on what job that pertains to the colors within the PDF. That's done automatically. Let's choose our working style, which will be sheetwise, our desired page size, and now we'll get our scheme. Our scheme is placeholders, a matrix of columns and rows, head direction, and pagination. Now, automatically, the system is filtering out any impossible schemes that just don't fit with what I've told the system till now. If I turn off that filter, we would be able to see all the additional schemes, such as 6-page schemes, 10-page, all the way down to 64 and 48-page schemes. These just do not fit with what we've told the system to that point. So filtering the unnecessary schemes provides another level of efficiency. We'll choose the 8-page scheme and then automatically place our artwork on the sheet using the automatic gaps button. Our layout is now completed. We can edit this layout any way we want to at this point in time. We can add and take away marks, we can increase gaps and so forth. For instance, if I wanted some sort of color control mark on here for any type of G7 certification or trending and analysis, I could do so by just simply dragging that mark over onto the layout, placing it, and then modifying the position as such. Once that mark is placed where I'd like it to be, I want that mark to mirror on the back of the sheet. I can see the front and back. And I'm now satisfied with my layout. I'm going to print the layout back to my template library. Now my template library will hold all of my templates to be utilized within the job workflow. So I'm going to identify this in such a fashion. A page saddle stitch on the XL75. We'll go ahead and save that. Confirmation that the layout was saved back to the workflow, and I am done with building my layout at this point in time. I can minimize the layout program, SigmaStation. Now we'll go back to the job where we left off in the last clip. This is our 8-page job that we left off with the prepared pages ready for our layout. At this point, we'll import that layout. Automatically, the system will bring up our template library, and we will look for the new layout that we built. Clicking the Signal Report button will show us a thumbnail of that actual report, giving us the sheet size, the folding sheet, and a little thumbnail of the actual layout that we're bringing into the system. This is just verification of the layout prior to bringing it in. We'll now assign our available pages to the layout and move to proof. At this point, I have a few different options. I can impose PDF this layout, so I get an imposed PDF of the layout, something that doesn't cost me anything, but I can view and even back up to itself before I do a directly connected contract proof. Clicking on the link opens up the actual layout itself. I can now use the register control, which is another functionality of the PDF toolbox. And what I'm doing at this point in time is seeing how the job would back up to itself. As I zoom in, you can see that the transparency of the front page has been dropped so that I can see through to the back. This will allow me to see crossovers, artwork line up, folios, making sure that no artwork is being cut off, folios are in the right place, artwork is backed up correctly. This is basically your digital light table. Once satisfied with the proof, we can then move on to our directly connected Epson proofer or even to plating. Now, when I started this job, I did not have a plating sequence or set of instructions available. So I wanted to show you the versatility of on the fly, I can bring in any set of instructions that I want, such as the plating process. In this case, we'll go to our XL75 Anycolor. This process includes plate calibration, screening, and any SIP data that may be generated for our particular job. And at this point, we output to that set of instructions, which now will render our job sent to our image setter in this case. And that's the final step of job production. In the next clip, we'll see more integration with the workflow and SignaStation pertaining to, let's say, multiple pieces of artwork ganged up on one press sheet.